But when we're looking at target frequency, I do like it because it is very specific. You get to have a very specific audience in terms of demographics, plus also the product list. But if we need to blanket people with a new product or a sale offer, this could be very, very tactical. If you're running Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I'm probably gonna be running a lot of these. So you run streaming for the same reason why you run target frequency, to get a message across multiple times to a person to break through either the noise or introduce a new product. The target frequency was something that I was really interested in doing. The target frequency, I think, was something that I like from a individual user experience perspective. And what I mean by that is the frequency at which a person would have to see an ad. I think the updated stats are like 34. I know Kasim's usually pretty good at keeping up with these stats, but it's like something like 32 or 34 impressions before an action is taken from a user on a product that they're slightly interested in, which would be top of funnel. So when we're talking about the target frequency, I like it because this is a campaign that I'm trying to get at least four touch points on. Now, this has only been running for about 3 days. I think we started on the evening of the 12th. Yeah, so it was the 13th is the day that it started running. So I only have 3 days worth of data in here. But when we're looking at target frequency, I do like it because it is very specific. You get to have a very specific audience in terms of demographics, plus also the product list that you can attach to it. And it focuses on very inexpensive views. And what's cool about this is if you look at the cost here versus the cost here and here, this is spent a little bit less than half. Now, the view rate is artificially high. In my opinion, this is a 13-second video. View rate counts at 10 seconds. So these are longer videos here, but this one is a short video. It's a vertical, and I was using this to see if I can gain access to the short. So we'll discuss that here in a moment. But what I did like is the cost per view is very inexpensive. So my cost per view is 2 pennies compared to 11 and compared to 9. So I have 16,000 views compared to 8,000 views, let's say, for less than half the cost. And my frequency of these viewers is, my frequency of the viewers is in the last 3 days here, 2.5 compared to 1.5, 1.3. This here, for example, these metrics that I believe are super important to a brand. Now, I was hoping to have Norbeam being able to have some sort of algorithmic prediction as to what's actually happening with these people. But for this cost here, I'm actually getting exactly what I want. I'm looking at target frequency. I don't necessarily need or want the clicks. I don't want the clicks on YouTube, for example. If people are going to click on YouTube ads, that's okay. That will be a thing that will happen. But the frequency is going to be where I need to have the brand recognition for the cost. And then, Ankar, you have a question?
Yeah. So, John, we can also use frequency capping in max conversion, like TrueView for action. Have we ever tried that?
Well, I'm trying to get a minimum of 4, actually. So this is something I said, hey, target the frequency of 4 views per user per week. Whereas the TrueView for actions are, and these have been running for over a month, will kind of hover between 1.3 and 1.5. That's good. It's not bad. But if I'm trying to impress a cold audience, how often do you remember something after seeing 1.3 YouTube ads? Not too much. It's fairly seldom. Like you're gonna see an ad like that's cool, but if you don't click then and there, I've lost you. Like I'm moved on to the next person. But if I can show Ankar 4 ads, now it's like, okay, I'm starting to now become a permanent fixture in your mind. That's cool. Yeah, I'm interested in that. Oh yeah, I forgot about the company, and like I'm trying to get that action to be taken, whether they click on the ad or not. That's okay. I'm just trying to get them to the site however I can, which is a person that is going to organically search, branded search, or have some other type of scenario take place where they're navigating back through to the site. So the clicks, this is what's bad, is this cost per click is very high. It's $10. Now, what does that $10 tell me? Well, on a cold traffic audience that I'm now impressing a few times with the ad that I'm finally getting them to click, is that good? Yeah, that's That's okay. And $10 a click is an expensive click, but that might be a very warm user. If you see ads 3 or 4 times and then you finally click, it might be a fairly expensive cost, because I'm paying for all those views, and that's where the bad part is. And I can actually artificially bring down my views by making a longer video. These are more expensive to me, the advertiser, because I'm using a YouTube short, which means my cost per view is low, but my views are high. Why? Because it counts after 10 seconds, and I have 13 seconds total. I think, or even I think it's like 12 seconds. So I have 2 seconds there where I'm gonna pay for them if they don't skip it right before that. So my cost is gonna be high. I'm okay with that. When you look at the click-through rate, though, also fairly low because of the views. But if we look at the amount of impressions to clicks, it's definitely much lower. I don't really care about the views. The views can be fairly high, but since my views are high, it's going to be more expensive per click. But that still doesn't matter. The impressions to clicks are very low. What this means is that I'm definitely saturating an audience, but I'm doing that on purpose. So this is the result of that. So target frequency has proven to be effective because what I asked Google to do, I'm starting to get. If we take the 15th, for example, compared to the previous period, I have double the amount of frequency for these people to this. So this is 13,000 people that saw it one time. This is 7,500 people that saw it twice. Or let's just say 3,000 people that saw it twice versus 2,500 people that saw it once. Okay, good. That's sort of what I'm looking for. Now this is also going to be compounding. So over time, this is going to get better and better and better. So I think the 14th was the day that it kind of fully spiked up, and then now I have 2.2. So I'm getting double the amount of average frequency. Is this only what we run? Is it good for the brand? Yes. If your targeting is on point and you have a product that people are wanting, and we're going pretty much bottom of the funnel to a cold audience, yeah, this is going to be some good data. I haven't run this long enough to give you all a result of these, I think 30 something clicks. So it's not as 28 clicks. It's not as solidified of a model yet, but if we need to blanket people with a new product or a sale offer, this could be very, very tactical.
This is not a glitch. I'm interrupting the video you're watching because I need to remind you that I'm always looking for people to join our team. So if you're passionate about Google Ads and you want to work with the best Google Ads agency on the planet, please go to solate.com/apply. Speaking of working with the best Google Ads agency on the planet, if you're having trouble with Google Ads and you want professional help, that's what we do. You can go to solate.com, that's SOL8.com, to apply for your free, no obligation action plan. And if I've given you any level of value at all, maybe think about giving me a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. That's how we juice the YouTube algorithm so they actually know that I know what I'm talking about. If you have questions, comments, concerns, or confessions, hit me below in the comments. And now, back to your regularly scheduled program.
If you're running Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I'm probably going to be running a lot of these. Because if I'm just reminding you, hey, we also have a sale, and I show you that once, and everyone else is showing their sale also once, who are you going to choose? Well, if I can hit you a few different times, probably have multiple target frequency audiences, all targeting the same audience. So it cycles through my 4 videos, switches over to the other campaign, cycles through 4 videos, switches to the other campaign. I could probably hit you 10, 12, 15 times for relatively low cost. When I say relatively low cost, 2 pennies rather than 10 cents on average. So how would we use this? This would be something that we need to have people see our ad, and we need to have people that see our ad frequently enough to say, yes, the people that I wanted to see the ad saw it multiple times each week. So that is very tactical. Did you get sales from it? That's not the point. People run Hulu for the same reason we run this. So you run streaming for the same reason why you run target frequency, to get a message across multiple times to a person to break through either the noise or introduce a new product. It would sound like a hand raise. I like the hand raising, by the way. Let's keep doing this. This is fantastic.
I was just gonna say this is perfect for promotions that are like week long.
Yeah, especially if you have an audience size that's like large enough, and that's what we'll kind of get into next is the target frequency. I'm using just one ad group with an audience that is fairly wide. Now, here's the bad part of our target frequency is you cannot use custom audiences. You have to use Google's audiences. This isn't good or bad. It's sort of, I like it because it's appropriate. the audiences that you're capturing are who does Google already have a really good understanding of, which means it can do the job it needs to do by targeting them frequently because it has an audience already pre-built into its algorithm. It says, who's interested in Google Ads? Well, there's 100 people at Solutions 8, so it's like I have this 100 people that have all interest in Google Ads. Would you like to impress all of them 4 times? Yeah. Now, what about the people that just went to this page and looked at that product twice? Okay, you already have a different, you could just do a CPM model for that. You don't have to necessarily frequency. You can just keep the ad spend high and keep showing them ads until it naturally burns out. There's still a method to do that, but I think the beauty of this is that Google already has an in-market audience that it has identified through its own algorithm that it is giving us to say, would you like to heavily impress these people with your ads? Yes. So we're looking at the ads that I'm seeing here, hair care products. It makes sense because the ad that we're using is about curly hair, heatless curls. So if you have hair, I don't, so that's why I use the language. If you have hair, you can use this heatless curl set, which basically you wrap around this little tube and it curls your hair without having any heat applied and damaging your hair. It's actually a pretty cool product. There's a lot of people in this audience though for hair care products. And these are, whoops, sorry, I clicked the button. And these are the people that I'm spending pretty much the majority of the ad spend in and am getting clicks. And this ad now is actually fairly short. It's a 12-second video about the heatless hair curls. We don't really get much in terms of, how to describe this? We don't really get much in terms of the ad copy. This is all video based. Can I drop my CPV or my overall cost by making a longer video? Sure. If I make a longer video, people are going to skip it more often and I pay less, but they still get impressed. I'm okay. That's not necessarily the point. My point is trying to get that frequency up and I need those views. So whether I'm paying a little bit more for them because it's naturally shorter video, that's kind of beside the point.
I'm in a mastermind called War Room, the War Room Mastermind. It's Ryan Dice, Roland Frazier, Perry Belcher, Richard Lindner, the digital marketer guys, basically. And it's super expensive. It's like 35 grand a year or something. And I wanted to do it forever, but I was massively gun shy and also a little cheap.